My girlfriend said, "I just need space to find myself." After 3 years together, I told her, "Take all the space you need." Half a year later, she texted, "I miss you." I replied, "I don't think you'll find me in that space anymore." That's when she lost it. I'm 30, and 6 months ago, I was in what I thought was a solid 3-year relationship with my girlfriend, Lauren. We met at a friend's housewarming party, connected over our shared love of hiking and terrible action movies, and started dating pretty quickly after that. The first 2 years were great. We had our routines, our inside jokes, our plans for the future. Nothing extravagant, just normal couple stuff. We talked about moving in together, maybe getting a dog, the usual progression. Then something shifted around the 2.5-year mark. Lauren started pulling away, not dramatically, just gradually. She'd be less available for our usual Wednesday dinner dates, less enthusiastic about weekend plans, more distant when we were together. I noticed, but I didn't want to be that guy who freaks out over every little change. People go through phases. I figured she was stressed with work or dealing with something personal she hadn't shared yet. I gave her space, tried to be supportive without being pushy, asked if everything was okay, told her I was there if she wanted to talk. She'd always say she was fine, just tired, just busy. So I believed her. Then came the conversation that ended everything. It was a Thursday evening in late March, about 6 months ago now. We were supposed to have dinner at her place. I showed up with takeout from her favorite Thai restaurant, the one we'd been going to since our second date. When I walked in, she was sitting on her couch with this look on her face. Not sad, not angry, just distant, resolved. "We need to talk," she said, before I even set the food down. My stomach dropped. Nothing good ever starts with those words. I sat down next to her. "Okay, what's going on?" She took a deep breath, looked at her hands. "I've been thinking a lot lately. About us. About where I am in my life. And I need space." "Space? Like, you want to see each other less, or—" "No, I mean I need to be on my own for a while. I need to find myself, figure out who I am outside of this relationship." I felt like I'd been punched. "Are you breaking up with me?" "I don't know. I just know I need space. Time to be alone. To explore who I am without being someone's girlfriend." "You've been someone's girlfriend for 3 years," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "What changed?" "Nothing changed." That's the problem. I feel like I'm stuck. Like I'm in this comfortable routine, and I don't know if it's what I actually want or if I'm just going along with it because it's easy. So our entire relationship has just been easy for you? Not meaningful? That's not what I'm saying. I care about you, I do. But I need to do this for me. I need to figure out what I want. I sat there for a minute, processing. Part of me wanted to fight for us, to convince her to stay, to promise we could work through whatever she was feeling. But another part of me, the part that still had some self-respect, knew that begging someone to choose you never works. "Okay," I said finally. "Take all the space you need." She looked surprised. "Really?" "Yeah. If you need to find yourself, I'm not going to stop you. But I'm also not going to wait around while you figure it out. So if you're doing this, we're done. Completely." That's not fair. Lauren, you can't break up with me and expect me to just sit here on pause until you decide you're ready to come back. That's not how this works. She started crying. "I thought you'd understand." "I do understand. You're not happy. You want something different. I get it. But I'm not going to be your backup plan." I stood up, left the takeout on her counter, and walked out. Didn't look back. Didn't wait for her to say anything else. Just left. Update 1. The first few weeks were brutal. I won't lie. 3 years is a long time to spend with someone, and suddenly having all that space where she used to be felt wrong. I'd wake up on Saturday mornings and instinctively reach for my phone to text her about weekend plans, then remember. I'd see something funny and think, Lauren would love this, then remember again. But I didn't reach out, didn't check her social media, didn't ask mutual friends how she was doing. I blocked her number, not out of anger, just out of necessity. I knew if I saw her name pop up on my screen, I'd be tempted to respond. And I couldn't do that to myself. Instead, I focused on moving forward, started going to the gym more regularly, picked up a photography hobby I'd been putting off, reconnected with friends I'd been neglecting, basically did all the things people tell you to do after a breakup, and surprisingly, they actually helped. Around week 6, a mutual friend, Chris, casually mentioned that Lauren had been asking about me. "What did you tell her?" I asked. "That you were doing fine, that you'd been keeping busy." She seemed, I don't know, surprised, like she expected you to be more torn up about it. "Did she say anything else?" "She asked if you were seeing anyone. I told her I didn't know. Are you?" "No, but it's none of her business anymore." Chris nodded. Fair enough. That conversation stuck with me. The fact that Lauren was checking in on me, trying to gauge how I was handling the breakup. Part of me felt validated. She was clearly thinking about me, maybe even regretting her decision. But another part of me felt annoyed. She'd made her choice. She didn't get to have it both ways. Update 2. 3 months in, I actually started dating someone. Nothing serious, just casual dates here and there. Her name was Emily. We met at a coffee shop, started chatting about the book she was reading, exchanged numbers. We went out a few times, had some good conversations, but neither of us was looking for anything heavy. We kept it light, and that was fine. Around this same time, I started noticing Lauren's name popping up in my periphery more often. Not directly, I still had her blocked, but through mutual friends, through social media comments on shared acquaintances' posts, through the occasional, "Hey, I ran into Lauren" update from people who didn't know we weren't together anymore. Chris told me she'd been going through some kind of quarter-life crisis. Quit her job, started freelancing, dyed her hair, got really into yoga and meditation. All the classic finding myself moves. I didn't judge her for it. People do what they need to do. But I also didn't care. That was her journey, not mine. Then, about 4.5 months after the breakup, Chris told me something that caught my attention. "Lauren asked me for your number," he said. "We were grabbing beers after work, just catching up. She said she wanted to reach out to you, see how you were doing." "Did you give it to her?" "No. I told her if she wanted to talk to you, she should respect whatever boundaries you'd set. She didn't seem happy about that." "Good call. I appreciate it. She's been asking about you a lot lately. I think she's realizing what she gave up." I shrugged. That's not my problem. But internally, I knew it was coming. The text, the call, the inevitable "I made a mistake" message. I'd seen it play out 1,000 times in movies, heard it from friends who'd gone through similar situations. The person who asks for space always comes back, usually right when you've started to move on. I prepared myself for it, told myself I wouldn't respond, wouldn't engage, wouldn't give her the satisfaction of knowing she still had any effect on me. Update 3. 6 months to the day after our breakup, my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I almost ignored it, but something made me check. "Hey, it's Lauren. I know you blocked me, so I'm texting from a friend's phone. I miss you. Can we talk?" I stared at that message for a solid 5 minutes. Part of me felt vindicated. I'd called it. She'd done her whole finding myself thing and realized the grass wasn't greener. But another part of me felt nothing. No anger, no satisfaction, no longing, just nothing. I typed out a response. "I don't think you'll find me in that space anymore." Sent it. Blocked the number. Went back to what I was doing. 10 minutes later, my phone rang. Different unknown number. I picked up, already knowing who it was. What the hell does that mean? Lauren's voice, sharp and upset. It means exactly what it sounds like. You wanted space to find yourself. I gave it to you, but I used that space to move on. You're not going to find me waiting in the same place you left me. So that's it? You're just done after everything we had? Lauren, you ended us 6 months ago. I didn't. You made that choice, and I respected it. But I'm not going to undo 6 months of healing just because you're having regrets. I'm not having regrets. I miss you. I miss us. I thought maybe we could try again. Try again? Based on what? You haven't changed. You just got bored of being alone. That's not fair. Isn't it? You wanted to find yourself, did you? Because from what I've heard, you've been checking up on me, asking mutual friends about my life, trying to figure out if I'm still an option. That doesn't sound like someone who's figured anything out. That sounds like someone who's scared they made a mistake. She was quiet for a moment. Then, maybe I did make a mistake. Maybe you did. But that's not my problem anymore. I'm not your safety net, Lauren. I'm not the guy you come back to when your experiment doesn't work out. I didn't think you'd be this cold. I'm not cold. I'm just done. There's a difference. So you don't have any feelings for me anymore? At all. I thought about that. Honestly thought about it. And I realized the answer was no. Whatever I'd felt for her 6 months ago had evaporated over time. Not because I'd tried to kill it, but because she'd walked away and I'd had to learn to live without her. No, I said. I don't. She started crying. I can't believe this. I can't believe you're just throwing us away. I'm not throwing us away. You already did that. I'm just not picking it back up. She hung up on me. Update 4. Over the next few weeks, Lauren went into full meltdown mode. I heard about it from multiple people. She'd been texting mutual friends, crying about how I'd changed, how I'd become heartless, how I'd led her on by being so supportive when we broke up. Chris called me about it. She's telling people you promised you'd wait for her, that you gave her the impression she could come back whenever she was ready. I never said that. I explicitly told her I wasn't going to wait. I know. I was there. I'm just warning you, she's spiraling. She's making you out to be the bad guy. Let her. People who actually know me know the truth. And that was the thing. The people who mattered knew what really happened. They knew Lauren had ended things, that I'd given her the space she asked for, that I'd moved on respectfully. Anyone who wanted to believe her version over mine wasn't someone I needed in my life anyway. Lauren tried reaching out a few more times. Different numbers, different approaches. One text was apologetic. I'm sorry for how I handled things. I just want closure. Another was angry. You owe me a conversation after 3 years. Another was manipulative. I'm not doing well. I really need to talk to you. I didn't respond to any of them. Eventually, the messages stopped. Final update. It's been 2 months since Lauren's initial "I miss you" text. 8 months total since the breakup. I'm doing really well. Emily and I are still seeing each other, and it's evolved into something more serious. We're taking it slow, but it feels right. She knows about Lauren, knows the full story, and she's been incredibly supportive without being judgmental. Lauren, from what I've heard, moved to a different city, needed a fresh start, apparently. I don't know the details and I don't care to. That chapter of my life is closed. I've learned a lot from this whole experience. I've learned that when someone tells you they need space, they're really saying they don't want you, but they want the option to come back if nothing better comes along. I've learned that respect for yourself is more important than clinging to something that's already gone. I've learned that moving on doesn't make you heartless. It makes you human. Lauren wanted space to find herself. I gave it to her. But in that space, I found myself too. And the person I found didn't need her anymore. Someone asked me recently if I ever think about what might have happened if I'd fought harder for the relationship, if I'd begged her to stay, if I'd waited for her to come back. Honestly. Number. Because people who truly want to be with you don't need to leave to figure that out. They just stay. Lauren made her choice. I made mine. And I'm happier now than I was in those final months with her, when I could feel her slipping away, but didn't want to admit it. I don't hate her. I don't wish her ill. I just don't think about her anymore. And that, more than anything, is how I know I made the right call. Edit. A lot of people are asking if I think Lauren actually went through some personal growth during those 6 months, or if she just got lonely. Honestly, I don't know, and it doesn't matter. Growth is great, but it doesn't entitle you to someone's forgiveness or a second chance. She burned the bridge when she left. The fact that she regretted it later doesn't rebuild it. Edit 2. For those saying I should have at least heard her out, why? What would that have accomplished? She already said everything she needed to say when she broke up with me. Listening to her try to take it back 6 months later would have just reopened wounds that had finally healed. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for yourself is refuse to engage.